These are all separate functions which is leading on to now I'll tell you how each of these functions are actually used for. Impact would be clutter breaking. For example, what Volkswagen had done recently, those innovations, those are all impact activities. Because those are something which is going to break the clutter. It's moving away from the regular kind of activity. In the television things, there's some things like brake bumpers or brake bumpers. What happens is you take the same stand slot, say across channels. And sometime back, I think Z had done that across the network, which they were promoting a new show. I don't remember which show, but they had taken all the 9 o'clock slot for all their respective networks, and that slot had a blink off, in which all the ads, the same ad was playing across. These are all impact features, and that is depend upon how efficiently and differently you want to promote the brand. The reach is again the same thing. It can be a reach plan, as what we discussed earlier. As in how many people you want, if you want to improve or increase your blow up your reach proportions per second. Frequency is again how many times you want to probably, if you want. See, there are various objectives. These are actually separate objectives. For example, frequency. I would say I don't want a very high reach plan, but I want to have really large number of ads. My ads to be exposed. So in that case, I will take probably duplication also into consideration, and I'll go on bombarding with as many ads I can probably buy in a particular time. That's frequency. Dominance would be dominance is again very much linked to frequency. But in this case, what happens is I'll try and take whatever possible genres my competitors are probably advertising on, and I'll try to increase more number of ads than they are advertising. For example, if in the month of August, say for example Dove is advertising with somewhere close to 300 spots in the month of August. Now I'm being a competitor, say Fiamma deals. I'm a competitor to Dove, so I'll try to dominate that, as in increase the more number of presence over there, and try to overshadow them. So I'll probably take a 400, 450 number of spots over and above my competitors and try to dominate that space. And this doesn't necessarily only need to happen in all the genres that they have. For example, if I'm present in 5 genres, I can choose to dominate only in 2 of them. But my share of voice and my share of dominance in that space would be higher. That's another objective is trying to get. Then continuity is normally every campaign has a peak and a tail, right? What happens is in a very realistic scenario is you will have one burst of an activity happening and one whatever 4 weeks, 8 week period, followed by a short break, and then you would have a continuity activity, which is nothing but the continuation of the same previous campaign. What it does, it forms function of a reminder activity. Normally, when an advertiser doing an activity, they will have a first time activity, as in the reach builder activity, and they'll have a reminder activity. So it will be a continuity. Okay. Now, then we go on to these things. See, there are 6 strategic media components which ensures a good working. For example, insight from the brief that you're getting. After deriving the insight, what kind of a media mix you're using? Media mix, as I told you earlier, nothing but various media vehicles that you're taking and the various proportions in which you're using. And then it's for how long you're having the activity, that's time, and place is whether which markets you're doing it on. And then media weights. Media weights is nothing but setting off budget allocations to your various media vehicles. Then your various constraints like reach and frequency objectives again for your various media vehicles. And then finally it comes to the media buy, which is eventually the most important part of any media plan, or any advertising for that matter, whether it's media or whether it's creative agency. Because ultimately it's the cost which matters, right? Okay. Now post this, you have 6 strategic components which again will face the impact. This is how it is made, right? Insight, you have the case derived out of it. Then after this will actually give you all these things. And this is a self-derived thing. What you want to use and how. A lot of times clients also like don't want to do that. I want only TV, I want only TV. But that should never stop a marketer or an agency person or a marketing person like us from giving recommendations. We should always keep our out of the box thinking capacity or never get shunned. A lot of clients are very stringent in a way, that should never stop you from visualizing. Then setting a media mix advice. The questions which a media manager or a marketer should ask is, what is my consumer's demographics? As in, kaha lata hai, what is he, what's his age, whether he's a male or female, what does he do? Then something which, a philosophy which I very clearly follow, which comes from me from Stockholm, which is very, every agency has its own philosophy. I adopted this philosophy of theirs, which is known as the consumer passion part. We used to work on things like defining clusters within the consumer passions and thereby targeting them there the most, because that's the time when they are most receptive and most open to communication. And then we go on to the consumer lifestyle. That's what I told you, like when he wakes up, till the time he goes to sleep, what all things does he do? What does he do with his lifestyle? Then we go on to targeting that segment and then finally getting into a competitive insight as to what different other competitors doing in these cases. Like a credit card company for that matter. When we were when I was launching Kotak credit cards, that's the time when we saw there was no really any intrinsic benefit which any credit card has. Sabka same, like they'll give you a loan, they'll give you a EMI facility, they'll give you a whatever interest surcharge thing and all. But there's no intrinsic benefit in the card. So what do? So what these guys found, the Kotak credit card guys found out was in this part of it. Cooperative design, right? Is what they found out was every card was a rectangular card, as a horizontal card, which at times becomes very difficult to fit in pockets. As in, it takes in a lot of space. It makes your wallet make more, wider. So what these guys did was they came out of the vertical card, which they can keep it even. It was just a design attribute. So what we later on as a marketer did was, I saw there's no specific intrinsic benefit in the card apart from the look of the card. The consumers were relatively also very bored with the same look of every card. So people started laughing at it. I mean, see, there are a lot of things like clarity between my annual interest charges. That's an insight. Okay. Now, a lot of people want to know what is my annual interest rate that I pay for a credit card. What a credit card solves that problem by declaring everything in the clear account. Where annual interest charge is. If you have an outstanding for like a long period or whatever period, this is how it is broken down on a monthly basis. That's clarity, which the consumer wants. That's a consumer insight. So that goes for targeting insights. Then you design your communication mode and everything based on it. Now, see, advertising now it's become media planning and creative agencies and PR agencies, all separate. But a true marketer should be a person who should be visually at least or conceptually at least gifted with all these things. Because there was a point of time when one agency used to control all these things, right? Now slowly again there is coming a time when it's going to be a consultant. Like we in our agency in Unitedworld, we not only plan on media planning per se, we also make visuals, we also make commercials. We outsource the part of it, but the whole creative concept, everything we do. We also do in films. We also do program integrations. So ultimately, see all these things, all these different gamuts, they're nothing but insights we actually draw out from a brand or communication purpose, and then using it. See how different segments are considered, then business insights, what the competition is doing, and therefore how different can it be. Now, see the business challenge for international tourism is an example in which it was very clearly mentioned. I want to increase my visitations. Okay, and per DM spends. Therefore, target. So therefore, what was finally outcome of this was target emerging markets, where your per capita income is rising, where people are going out more on holidays, where people are traveling more. That's why a lot of these airline companies have started increasing their spend in India. Because India, in spite of the global recession, was still following a 25 GDP growth rate, which was like pretty good, pretty awesome in fact, when the whole of the world was losing it up. So this is the insight which they got from. This is emerging market, why not spend it? Then demonstrate value and deepen destination value. Okay, now consumer challenge which comes is families, HMIs. HMIs is basically household medium index. So sorry, should be HMIs? It's HMI only. HMIs का there's a definition. Youth no. HMIs का है.
Household नहीं होगा because it is food.
No, it's not household. It's I think it's youth only. I think youth. I'll get back to you on that. I think it's youth. So see, all these three segments are operating on a different need altogether. For example, families, they would require value. For the HMIs, it will be cool quotient. I think you're right, it's youth. It would be the cool quotient. As in, they want everything to be more yappy and more funky and more jazzy than compared to a regular person. And then for beating MIC, why did I write the short form?
MIC is meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions.
Right. For them, it's more business and more value for that. Value for money. Not value for money, more value. This is where we go into passion group marketing, which I mentioned. Drawing insight and therefore defining the passion groups, passion center of individuals, and designing. See, this is something, for this we normally use two kind of things. One is a database called DGI, which is which primarily helps you develop passion group clusters. If you are familiar with cluster analysis and all, what it defines is cluster analysis you're familiar with, right? See what are they how it normally is. So in cluster analysis, you have dimensions. These are the axis dimensions. Now what it does is, suppose sure, happiness. I'll use this as a base quotient. The happiness is there. There is coolness. This is very youthful. And this, I can take it trendy. I'll tell you where is this come from. I'm coming from the Scooty ads. Scooty Plus ad. This family targeting young teenage women. Not even teenagers, adults. Who are going to get a driving license. Now, there are various attributes to it which the brand was trying to figure out. What should it be? Should it be trendy? Should it be coolness? Should it be happiness? So what they finally arrived at was there was a huge cluster of people who are roaming in this segment of it. What cluster analysis does is they basically identify clusters. For example, these are markings, you know that, right? These are numbers, how close you are towards it. Now, clusters are nothing but group of people or group of attributes or group of qualities which are moving towards a similar direction. Now, these people are very much alike here. They're very much alike. They're moving in a very similar direction. So that's the time when they thought this is a more closer proximity where there is a large number of cluttered individuals with this kind of a thought process in their head. I want something trendy, I want something cool. That's how they position their brand as quite trendy brand. Being which set of clusters are more closer to the particular attribute. So So this is what TGI also does. TGI facilitates what do you call that? Consumer behavioral patterns. Like I like going to movies. That's a behavioral pattern. I like listening to music. When I look for information, I count on internet the most as a user review. These are not attributes, behavioral attributes. These are the way I think, the way I do things. So that helps you develop into a demographic and the psychographic pattern of the target audience. I'll tell you why this is important is because it's so many different what do you call that options available to people, and so many different genres that you can play with. It becomes very important for me to find out the right option and the right place in which my target behaves, and that's the time probably he will be most responsive to what's going on. So it can be a television, can be an outdoor activity, can be anything for that. For example, if I am doing I used to have a brand called Nature Valley. It's a health nutrient bar from General Mills. Now, what we were trying to figure out is these guys try to do a lot of coding and a lot of things which do not really work. The simple reason being, a bar, a health nutrient bar, is nature itself is not tasty. It tastes like shit. Trust me. It gives a very money to play on. But my question is, food and things that we eat are very tasty. So I need to do a lot of more sampling, like what Red Bull has done. Red Bull works on a very sampling based pattern. Now the question is, when and where? So that's the time when we thought, when are people most constituted on their health, on their like not eating garbage times. So we found gyms, jogging parks. Those are the right time because that's the time when the guy is more receptive to this kind of a concept. That came from this. So it gives you a set of cluster which probably goes towards it. It gives you a cluster which is more in sports. It gives you a cluster who doesn't do all these things, but they are still very health conscious, so they probably go for a morning walk. Now they're all very different exclusive set of audience, but they are all moving in the same direction. Again, that's the cluster thing which I explained to you, that's towards health. Right? Those are all different attributes, but moving to one direction. So those clusters will combine together to give you an insight of it. That's how you get an insight. So any kind of brief that you get, or if you're working on any kind of brief to give, always consider the insights and how exactly you want to. You should have your consumers head and his lifestyle completely to understand when is he most successful. Okay, and then this will lead you to passion identification, as I told you. Passion again would be, I love sports, I love this stuff. And this would also give you a size, therefore it will also give you a size of audience. Where do these people decide? Probably, like for example, Red Bull doesn't do it in everywhere. They don't do an activity everywhere. They do it in office spaces, where there are largest number of office spaces. When they know that there's a lot of late night work. Like we have counters in our office which serves free dinner all the time. Yeah, they will. Again, the whole purpose of college is different. So they also go to bars because the whole purpose of consumption of Red Bull there is different. Red Bull found a very good mixer with rum or white rum or whatever, vodka. That's a new cool drink that people are drinking now. That's a new thing which is developed by them. It was not there. Nobody knew what's a energy drink before. Now offices would make more sense. My office would make more sense because advertising people in average work very late. Like today morning I came back home at 5 o'clock. So it's like insane. I mean people do work with that. So that's the time when you have that option there. So they know when to come. That's going to be from a sizing. Sizing where they stay and check out the different options that you can probably do with the universe. Now again, these are just some statements here so that you can understand. Psychographic and behavioral attributes and profiling of the character. This is a girl who is very, very much into health, but she's also a working woman, she's also a mother. She has all these things into her head, but what does she think like? She thinks it's important to be well informed about things because she needs to be alert. Now she watches news and reads the newspaper on average 20 minutes a day. Then in health conscious measures calories, nutrients and food that she eats. She goes for periodical checkups and does some kind of exercise every day. She thinks it's important to devote time towards the kids' upbringing. Reads about parenting and also takes care of the kids' health. And she's technologically savvy and owns at least 3 gadgets. Has traveled abroad and she likes reading books on travel. Now tell me, what are the typical things which are very isolatedly different than you can see?
She's an all-rounder.
No, that's there. That's an overall thing, very true. But then what are those individual touch points that you see? What are very, very drastically different from each other and yet mutually exclusive? Right. That's a big, that's very, point me out at least 2 more. That's right. She's conscious about her health, right? So you see, automatically you can actually point out so many different ways you can actually cover. Gadgets, a mobile phone, an iPhone, an application. Phones, for example, the nowadays modern phones, you can have a lot of stuff like, for example, the BlackBerry BBM thing. BlackBerry Messenger also has something called a BBM, the BlackBerry Messenger service, which enables you to communicate with anyone using a BlackBerry throughout the world free of cost. You don't have to pay anything. It's like a Yahoo Messenger or a Google Doc. You don't have to pay anything. All you need to do is know the BBM ID of that special unique number from your friend or relative, and then you just need to share with each other. That's about it. I mean, it's that freaking easy. So that can be a very good part where you can actually target. We can make a mobile application for that. If it's probably if it's like if I'm a Talwarkar or a gold ship, I would probably make a weight measure on the phone. There's an application which actually measures your calorie. The moment you feed in your details, like what food you've had, it is customized to an Indian palate. So it automatically gives you what kind of calories you're eating. So all these things, like these are the various ways you can actually create a touch point for them, thereby contact. These are the 5 things which are actually arrived out of those pictures. She is health freak. You must be wondering about these percentages and numbers. These are your size and this is your affinity. I'll tell you what's affinity all about. Suppose you have gadgets. Okay, you have gadgets here. You have health here. You have news junkie here. Okay, these are attributes, few qualities that we have. There's something called a base TG, and there's something called your TG, as in your defined TG. I'll put this as base on. Now base, ideally in case of TGI, it would be TGI is 12 plus audience. That is your 12 plus age group. So 12 plus age group is your base. But your TG is, say, in this case I think it was 22 to 45, 25 to 40. 25 to 45 women, SSC A plus. Whatever. Okay. Now what do you normally do is, for example, this your base TG in terms of base TG is much wider, right? It's like 12 plus. That means like it covers the whole gamut of your TG. Now TGI for that matter only takes into consideration the SSC ABC. It doesn't take into consideration the rural mass and the lower section of the society. Below it just takes care. SSC would be SSC B is the middle class. SSC C is the lower middle class. Till that level. So this would probably say we would give a percentage of